All right, now we're going to talk about some general concepts in texting. So, we haven't talked yet about what happens between the initiation text and asking the girl out. I told you in a previous video that we are going to text the girl a few times back and forth and something's going to happen. Hopefully she says ha ha or whatever. So we are doing a little bit of attraction in that point in time. And one general topic that I would like to cover is something that I of course made up. And I call it the texting length and investment rule. Okay? I've looked over hundreds and hundreds of thousands of texts from guys. I've taught this stuff for years and years and years, and one thing that I've picked out from looking at patterns in guys texting is, in general, when a girl's texting really short texts and the guy's texting really long texts and multiple texts at a time, it doesn't seem to work out. Why would that be? Well, when a girl's putting small words and not a lot of words in her texts, she's not really investing much, right? If the guy's putting big, long text in there, he's investing quite a bit. So he's working really hard. Maybe he texts 2-3 times in a row, which is mind-numbing to me. I hate it. But so in general, the texting length and investment rule states that whoever is texting more words, more often, is investing more in the other person and therefore chasing more than the other person, and often doesn't have as much value as the other person does. Okay? So if I look through your texts and I see tons of short texts from her and even more texts from you that are big and long and whatever, I think that you are doing a bad job in texting. Now, when we talk about in the past tutorials, I've talked about how your interaction goes when you meet a girl, and we talk about how in the beginning the guy talks 100% of the time, right? And then you start to bring the girl into your interaction. You start to, sometimes I'll use an opinion, what do you think about that? To bring this girl into the interaction. When that happens and she's into the interaction, then she starts talking, I start talking a little bit less, she starts talking a little bit more, and then eventually that changes to where the girl's doing more of the work. Okay, so the same goes for texting. When you are starting your texts, it's okay if they're a little bit longer and more frequent. But there should be a point in time where your texts mirror each other in length, right? And also investment. Length, frequency, and investment should all be about the same. And then hopefully you move towards texting the girl a little bit less and she starts texting you a little bit more, thereby signifying that she's now chasing you. That's generally what we would like to happen. So when I see your text and I look through all of them with one girl, I can scan through, just look at the length, and know exactly where you stand with that girl. That's the texting length and investment rule. Your text should generally be, once you've texted a while with the girl, your text should generally be shorter and less frequent than the girl's text. That would show me that she's chasing you. Okay, so if I say, hey, you gotta watch texting length and investment rule, that means that your texts are often going to be too frequent or more frequent than hers and also longer than hers. So shorten up your text, try to mirror how long and how frequent her texts are, and that'll kind of make your value about equal to hers.